Good evening, spirits and specters, and welcome to Chapter 70 of Blood from a Stone, A Tale of Love and Dread in RPG. My name is Philip, and I am the Dreadmaster here on Night 4 of the Week of Blood. And joining me are my wonderful players. Say, trick or treat players.
Trick or treat
players.
You know, I like how they hesitate and then most of them did it. Something about that feels like that's our relationship in a nutshell. Is effectively, Philip says to do something dumb, and they're like, no way, but then they do it.
Okay.
I thought we were going to stagger.
Everyone, this has been so far this has been such a fun time. This is night 4 of these Blood from a Stone games, where we have visited different domains. Thus far, we have had, in 3 games, 1 Dread Storm and 3 Horror Surges. The Dread Clock currently sits at the hour of 4, but as we are in Merkshire, it is much less common for those precious 13s to be rolled. However, I will ask players to always say the number and help me remember that both 13s and a new policy in Merkshire moving forward, I keep forgetting to announce this, if you ever roll the chapter number, it counts, it advances the Dread Clock as well. So if you roll a 13 or a 70 tonight, please let me know. Let me go through my my little ritual here that I've been doing. First up, today is the 28th of October. So I'm going to open box 28 here on our super fun adventure calendar. Let us see what is held within. Which wonderful polyhedral. Ooh, we have a Black Cat D12. Last night, when one of these appeared, I said something very uncouth because it was Voluptua. But here for Merkshire, I will simply say it is a Black Cat D12, but I lost it. There we go. Whoop. Meow.
This one is tasteful.
This one's tasteful. See,
the other one was tasty.
Well, the thing is, I'm gonna obviously say it, I'm just setting it up. So last night, I was hoping that we would roll the Witch's Tit for Voluptua, but we didn't. We instead rolled something with the black cat on it, but I said instead it's a witch's pussy. Anyway, let's move on to this hellish existence that we call this game. As I move into step 2 of my opening ritual, Philip eats a Halloween treat. Viewers, players, shall I consume a Kit Kat that is pumpkin pie? It's not really that Halloween-like, but it's close enough. Should I do a packet of Monster Mash gummies, which is Count Chocula, Frankenberry, Boo Berry, and then Fruit Brute and Yummy Mummy, 2 lesser known cereal mascots? Should I do a Russell Stover Marshmallow Pumpkin? Or a good old-fashioned, I see a vote for Monster Mash in the thing, or just do I do like a chocolate eyeball, from kind of like nondescript?
Chocolate eyeball.
You vote chocolate eyeball.
We have 2 Monster Mashes in the chat. We have a pumpkin pie Kit Kat in the chat.
But I can't tell if that's a vote or a comment of surprise.
Oh, that's true.
Bear in mind, I will eventually eat all of these. It's just which ones tonight. I think I'm getting. There have been too many for Monster Mash. This is a first to the vote, so we'll be doing it. And I will eat an eye at another time. Lauren,
can you just describe it?
Sure.
Or actually, maybe I don't know. I wish James could describe what it tasted like.
So James, this is a mummy, and it tastes like orange.
Well, it reminds me of the dappled sunlight filtering through the trees of Sevilla, really. The scent of perfume on your nose, tickling your memories, your mind wrapping around the distant sunset aching, thinking of her.
Bravo. Bravo.
We won't do the whole packet, but this is a Frankenberry taste. Tastes of strawberries.
Oh, it's too good. Love it.
I got it. Blueberries. Anyway, so, well then, this has been a great intro, but let's talk about what happened not in our most recent chapter of Blood from a Stone, but in our most recent visit here to Castle Caliginoira in the plain called Merkshire. After leaving sort of James Joffrey with a young woman named Emma Sari, Sarah Quill went off, drank the blood of a chambermaid as her husband did hot things. But then, amidst this all, one dearly departed Dr. Faust Simpleton wound up dying hundreds of years before he arrived in the castle. At this point, an orderly named Francis Brannigan sort of raised an alarm. He spoke to the footman Walker, as often happens in moments of importance here, at which point, though James was still speaking with Emma, Sarah, Etienne, Victor, and a gentleman named Captain Kidd, who is another member of the Order of the Opal Octopus, went upstairs with Mr. Haven to see what the matter was. Upon seeing that there was a body there, Sarah Quill Renee, recognizing it as the corpse of the man who had been here with her the day before, but that it was, according to Victor, hundreds of years decayed. I think we said 200, and honestly, I think it was actually a little more. That's a mistake on my part. Sarah had a mental break and effectively forgot everything that happened since she first met Dr. Simpleton the day before. So, James, though you have not had this happen, you were not present for this. Sarah no longer remembers you or your beautiful poetry about her. Etienne grew frustrated with the woman in the window, the listener in the attic, as she is often called by members of the Order. He started shouting things at her. She sort of shouted back. Captain Kidd and Francis had to physically pull him back, and were able to. He stormed off, currently whereabouts unknown. Sarah, Victor, the captain, and Francis went down, had some tea to sort of calm their nerves after the girl was dosed with laudanum, because, women. At that point, they sort of discussed some of the disturbing things that they had been witnessing here. They also, after some chatting with Walker, who kind of gave them his typical cryptic clues, they thought that they should go down to the catacombs where Victor, in a dream, remembered there were books. They thought they could find knowledge there. The orderly, Francis Brannigan, knew how to get down to the catacombs, so he said he would lead the group, but Sarah wanted to go and find her husband in their chambers first. She couldn't remember where their chambers were, because she doesn't remember sort of last night. She doesn't remember hooking up with her husband and seeing a woman hang next to her last night. So Victor, fortunately, was staying next to Mrs. Renee. He led her down. Mrs. Renee went into her room. She knocked on the door. She discovered the room looked very old-fashioned, and there was this sort of kind of young woman with long hair, who does not play the guitar, is a different actress. I should really clarify that. I think my description of two characters, I need to start putting actor references for all my NPCs, because people were like, oh wait, is this person? And I was like, it's not that person, sorry. In any case, yes, Sarah Quill met Ula, the bride of Anaphias, and but didn't remember seeing that this was the young woman who she saw hanging the day before. She couldn't remember. Ula mentioned sort of that people were trying to kill her. She was only here because the king requested it, but now King Adelard, was dead, which Sarah knew was a long time ago. Sarah looked out of the room and saw Captain Kidd and Francis there. Based on a lucky roll, when she looked back in, the room was changed modernized, and the young woman gone. Meanwhile, Victor, in his room, saw a vision of a ghost. One that had been waiting for him here for a long time to issue him a warning. A warning, beware the catacombs, beware the tomes of dread, do not read from the TV gear. Victor, chilled by this sight of his brother and fearing that his brother might have been trapped in the past, that his brother's shade was trapped in the past, akin to the ghost, or to the physical form of Dr. Faust Simpleton, stepped out, kind of spoke with everyone about what they had seen, and said that they must search the catacombs to find out what is happening. Everyone agreed with this prospect. Yes, Sarah René.
Sorry, are you done?
No.
Oh, never mind. Go on.
So they went down to the catacombs. Sarah gave a little note to footmen who were not Walker to give to her husband. When they went downstairs, they found dark tunnels that Victor remembered from his dream. Francis said, I must return to my duties. I hope you find what you're looking for. When Francis returned upstairs, the castle was firelit, full of clanking armored soldiers, as he had stepped into another time. I'm done now.
Once my temporary, I don't know if this is the right time to be asking this, but once my temporary insanity fades, will my memory come back?
Yes.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
I was just checking.
it's been so fruitful, I kind of want to make it happen a long time.
Whatever.
It's funny to torment you. Okay, so, I'm just, hey, can't be mad at me if I'm being honest about it. So, if the murderer is like, you guys can't be mad if I'm honest that I want to kill you all. Okay, so, with all of that in mind, these wonderful beats in our brains, I will read the invocation for this, chapter 70. Blood from a stone. And there swaggers the shade of a straddling king, plumed sordid with sensual face. And lo, too, that of his minister at a bold, self-centered pace. Sheer in the sun they pass, and thereupon all is still, save the mindless fountain tinkling, on with thin enfeebled will. I need either Victor, Sarah, or Captain Kidd, if one of you could volunteer for me to do something. Victor?
I have bad luck.
Victor,
and I
please.
will not.
Victor, please make a luck roll, and James, if you would also make a luck roll, please.
That's a failure.
That's a failure.
What numbers did you both roll?
52.
48.
48. Victor, so do you want to receive or do you want to defer?
I'll defer.
Understood. So, James Joffrey. Upstairs, the young woman emissary has sort of wandered off to her tea party done. You found her utterly charming. But you now sort of find yourself alone in that gallery.
I'd like to find my compatriots. I don't feel quite comfortable here. A young lady may walk in, and that would not be proper.
You must find a chaperone.
I must have a chaperone, yes.
He
I mean-
encounters a young lady. Excellent. So, James, is there anywhere specific you would like to go look for them, or do you just want to kind of go out in the foyer, go to the grand hall, and is there anywhere you want to go, or you just going to want to start looking around?
I think I would like to go where I would think that they might be.
Okay.
So the grand foyer.
Grand foyer is not a bad place to start. So, as you walk out to the grand foyer, You find a few members of your organization are in the midst of having sort of some conversations, you know, kind of here and there, just kind of gathered in little clusters, chatting. Make a luck roll. Let's see if anyone who can, you know, sort of speak to you more explicitly is around.
There's no hard successes for luck, correct?
In this game, there are not, but if you rolled super high, or super low, rather, just definitely tell me.
I mean, I rolled a 16 and my luck is 35, so
Okay.
that doesn't really...
Wouldn't be
that's
either way. Yeah, okay, cool. All right, well, with a 16, you sort of glance around, you don't see anyone, but then you see sort of walking down from upstairs, Mr. Haven, this sort of burly gentleman who sort of, you know, he was bringing in the girl who's now up in the tower last night.
Oh, right.
James, were you... I'm not sure if James went up to the room... Was James there up in the office? Did you meet the keeper?
Afterwards, yes.
Okay, so yes. So you were brought up. He sort of knows you, but he's just kind of galumphing down the stairs.
I'll go up to him and say, "Sir, have you seen my compatriots?"
I was we were actually looking for you earlier. We all went up and saw the girl in the attic again. Things are growing dire. Mr.
I'm sorry to hear that. Had a bit of a dire night myself. Yes.
It is imperative that we must be very cautious over the next hours before the reading of the tome.
Right. Yes. Oh, yes. The guide. Yes.
He kind of looks at you a bit, as you are someone who does not fully buy into all of this. There's a bit of, you know.
He says, in any case, I was looking for your companions myself, but if you've not seen them,
yes. Well,
I can't imagine where they've gone.
No, I haven't seen any of them. Not that sort of senile deaf old man or the lovely, charming woman.
Well, I'll tell you, one of your companions
discussing how
you won't be seeing again.
I'm sorry. Was that a threat? I'm sorry. What?
No.
He actually motions you, and you walk into that same gallery that Walker guided you to the night before.
Yes.
He kind of pulls you
the
in
very
there.
Unremarkable.
Yeah, the Baroque architecture.
Mundanity.
If you stand in one
Yes.
corner, you hear things. He pulls you in there and kind of pulls you to the side and says,
Dr. Faust is dead. We've discovered his body.
It's about right. Yes. Reckless, that one. Reckless. Like a...
Say it.
like a teen on his first day out in a yacht, riding the waves.
What the devil are you talking about, Joffrey?
It's just a metaphor, that's all. A metaphor for danger,
he kind of gives you this.
tomfoolery, foolhardiness, and hard-headedness.
He gives you this sort of like piercing look and says,
Mr. Joffrey, you don't need a metaphor for danger at this time. We're facing it right now.
I mean, I find that the metaphor elevates things, but that's fine. It's you do as you will.
No, you are a...
Tell me.
You are a, well, what? What is it?
No. Go ahead. You please. Whatever you're going to say is quite important.
You are an able-bodied, sane-minded young man. I was simply going to say I will need your assistance. Just
Yes,
keep
of
your wits
course.
about you, and I do think it
Always.
would be good if you could find your friends, but well, the problem is
I do.
people may be going very far away at times, and yet not so far away at all. What I'm saying, Mr. Joffrey, is that your friends could be here in this very room right now.
Oh. Well. I'll keep that in mind. I don't really like the artwork. I'm sorry. I don't really like it. I don't really think that it's friendly. I don't really.
You're not here for the artwork, Mr. Joffrey. Just if you find your friends, attempt to find me. I will be up in the chamber. I must go and check on the turret. I must check on the girl again. But after that, you could find me in the finder's office. The keeper's office? Do you remember where it was?
Yes.
Good.
Yes, I do.
Good. Don't get lost. Not now. You understand? Always know where you are.
I know. Yes, I know where I am.
I think it's harder to get lost when you know where you are. He just looks at you for a moment and shakes his head and walks out of the gallery.
Yeah, I have a question. Does Sarah Quill wear perfume?
Ooh. Would Sarah Quill mask the stench of death upon her by wearing perfume?
I don't think she smells like death, but she's undead, not rotting. Yeah, I think she would. I think something like pleasant, like jasmine.
Yes, of course. Right.
Are you going to sort of start sniffing for jasmine perfume? Is that the
I
plan?
think that there is. I think in the back of my mind there is the definite note of jasmine that's distracting me from my duty right now. It's causing me to think very ungentlemanly thoughts that I must not think.
So, what are you going to do?
Thoughts that my mother would never want me to think.
Then tell you what, we will leave James to those thoughts, as opposed to that thought. Hey now, at this time, we will cut our focus to the crypts down below, where stalk with an oil lamp Victor, the captain, and Mademoiselle Renee, or Madame Renee. She is married. I apologize.
Now I am. Yes.
Victor, is there anywhere in particular you're leading them, or you just kind of want to do a general? Like, are you going to take them to the area where you recall finding books last night, or are you going to take them to? Or are you just kind of doing a general walk around?
I wanted to take them to the place that I was familiar with.
Perfect.
Which is not. Is it far? It's not far, is it?
No, I mean you as you keep walking, you suddenly see a familiar sort of passage, and you lead them, Victor, to a stone wall, one that has been filled in of a slightly different colored brick than the rest of these subterranean passages. There is kind of what looks like a passage, sort of OG archway. Ogi? How do you pronounce that word? I think it's OG.
OG.
Yeah. OGE? It's an Ogi.
Oh.
OG. In any case, as you come to one of these archways, it's an OG archway. It's really classic. As you come to this archway, it is walled off with stone. Victor, you know that within that room was where you encountered that woman, where you saw the TV guide, and where you were stabbed by a man.
It's here. This is where we should be.
How do you know?
It came to me in a dream. We must get through this wall. You see, this used to be the entrance passageway to the place that holds the tomes.
So Victor starts to see if there's a way in or any loose stones.
Excellent. Victor, go ahead and make a look roll for that, I think. Or a spot hidden, I'm so sorry. In this game, it's called spot hidden. Ba-dum-bum-bum-bum, you're spotting it.
It's a success, just regular.
With a regular success. You notice that there is an area of the stone that does seem a little looser, and in fact, you can tell where the mortar seems to have been reapplied. So you in fact think that at some point someone broke through some of these stones, and they were subsequently remortared over. But that seems like something that happened a while back. That isn't a recent occurrence. Nevertheless, in that area, there's some like looser looking stone, and there's even a small sort of crack down at the bottom. So you do think that might be a point to try to wedge some stones loose where the mortar is weaker.
Right here, it appears as if the structure has been weakened. Perhaps we can get through.
Well, how? And can I look around and see if there's any, like, thing to pry or bash?
This is literally what it's in the thing for. Make a luck roll.
That is a 21.
21. What is your luck score?
Yeah. 63. So
Excellent.
success.
Well done. So, with a 21, you glance around and you do in fact see what looks like some sort of like slightly longer, like a metal fire poker type instrument, kind of just like lying among some detritus on the floor.
Oh, well, we could try to, and I'll go pick it up, pry it open with this, rock by rock.
That might take too long, though.
Well, I could give it a try. She's stronger than you think.
My character is laughing. It's like, you? Huh?
Well, I will, unless Victor, you would like to try.
Please, my dear.
Please.
Physicality is not my forte.
As the strongest one here, I believe I should quit.
Can Sarah go ahead and like jam the thing?
Sure thing.
And, like,
sure
try to
thing. Miss
pop a
Quill.
rock.
Go ahead and roll for me a fighting brawl.
Okay. Oh, okay. That is a 52, which is still a success.
52 is a success, yes. So you manage to sort of begin to sort of wedge in, and what you're able to do is after like a bit of like, you manage to break a piece off, and like kind of an old stone is falls out of this stone wall. There's a lot of stones left, and that took some doing, but you have now, you know, where there was previously like a mouse hole sized hole, now there's like not a dog door, but like a ferret could get through. Yeah, maybe, or even a cat. A cat could get in.
You're more than welcome.
I knew that was going to happen. Sorry, go ahead.
There you go. You're more than welcome to assist now that I've loosened it up for you.
Oh, of course. That definitely helped. I'll just take that off your hands. Do I have to
look
roll?
at Victor like.
If you're gonna give it a shot, go ahead and why don't you let's see for our good captain. Yeah, you can also make a fighting brawl roll. Give it a try. So that is it's on your second column there.
I got 28.
28 is actually that is a hard success for you. Just by a point. So yes, you managed to sort of, Captain Kidd sort of, I think, probably trying to show off. Presumably he's trying to show off since he's kissing his muscles. You loosen a few more, and in fact, as you do so, you make a you now make a hole that a human could get through if they were willing to kind of like crawl on the ground under it.
And that, Missy, is how it's done.
Yes, well, you are fantastic at breaking apart rocks. How very impressive.
Clearly a useful skill. It got us through.
There is no time for friendly competition. We must understand what lies behind this stone door.
Victor tries to look in with the lamp to see what he can see.
Oh, so
through
Victor
there.
kind of okay. Oh, I love it. All right. So Victor, you're getting on the ground. You're like crawling sort of down, getting on your like hands and knees or whatever to look through, because it's like a like a foot and a half high sort of hole on the ground. So you're kind of, you poor old guy kind of gets down and brings the lamp and starts shining it in. Let's see if I can do this. I super can. Victor, as soon as the lamp begins to like sweep into that space, you see a figure is standing in this walled off section that's been walled off for decades, if not centuries. You kind of see a hint of a sort of black clothing. Your lamp casting their shadow on sort of dust, rock-covered sort of book racks behind them. And then the oil lamp goes dark.
Hello. Hello, I see you in there.
At this point, Sarah, Victor, and Captain Kidd, you are all plunged into darkness. Now, Sarah, you can still see like one click better in this, and there is still some oil lamp light coming from like one of the corridors you came down sort of around the corner. There's a dull glow, so it's like you have some orientation sense of where you are, but like this area you're in kind of went from this kind of bright light source that Victor was moving down and dark, harsh shadows kind of dancing around the wall at his sort of frail movements, and suddenly it is dark. Victor is calling out, "Who is in there? Who are you?" Sarah and Captain Kidd, what are you both doing?
I'll say, Victor, what did you see? Who is it?
I'm unable to tell, but a dark figure, a specter perhaps, I'm not sure. Could be a mannequin for all I know.
Captain Kidd, what are you doing? Also, bear in mind it is dark, so I guess is anyone lighting the lantern again? Is it somebody...
I'll attempt to relight the lantern.
Okay, so Captain Kidd, you kind of feel your way down. Give me... What would this actually be in this darkness? Tell you what, do a spot hidden roll. Let's see just how much you can sort of see, but you'll need a... Yeah, go ahead.
21.
The 21, you're actually, because you get another hard success, you're able to just kind of make your way to, you have the spatial awareness, you can just see sort of an outline. You get down to Victor and you feel him there, and you sort of light a match. And as the match burns, you and Victor can sort of see each other in the thing, and Sarah, you sort of see them. And you light the oil lamp, and the oil lamp shines. And Victor, as you look, that figure is still there.
Captain.
And
Here,
Captain
under
and,
here.
Captain and Sarah, as Victor, as you look, the figure is sort of standing there. And the Captain and Sarah, you both see this figure as well. Because the wall is no longer there.
Oh.
What has happened?
The woman, hearing you, kind of turns around. It's the woman who you all encountered on your first night on the 3rd floor.
I don't remember.
You don't remember. Victor and... Actually, in Captain Kidd, you weren't there.
I've never met her.
Victor, you do remember this woman. She was in your dream. And you met her the first night.
Madam, good eve to you. Victor Moncrief, Moncrief Mortuary. these are my friends, Miss Sarah Quill Renee and Captain Kim.
Be quick and identify yourself. What are you doing down here in this room?
That is no way to speak to a lady.
We are in a dangerous place. We need to be on guard.
As is she.
She looks
She's
at
the
you
one
all
who's in the...
and says, I'm not sure. Where am I?
You are in the room with the tomes.
What do we call it?
She looks back and you see her go, oh, no. And you can see that there are several books on the shelves there. No, not again. I've been sleepwalking. Not again.
What do you mean, not again?
Who are all you?
We are members of the Order. We are here to investigate.
What order are you? Are you rebels?
No, well, that depends on what you mean by rebels.
Do you stand against the king?
Oh, no.
Oh, heavens no.
She doesn't remember. Okay.
Well,
No,
you
we
do
are-
remember the conversation you had last week about King Adelard and all that.
Oh, that was after? Oh,
Yeah, when you saw the woman
okay,
in the room.
right,
you remember
right.
that. Yeah.
my brain is out of order. Well, the good news is that I think that we know, that I know where we may be.
Please
Yes.
elaborate.
We are still in Castle Caliginoira.
Yes.
Caliginoira?
Of course, we're in Caliginoira.
Yes, and it is right now a very long time ago. And I'll look at Victor, imploring him with my eyes to understand.
What is your year, madame?
She gives you a date that is about 400 years before your time.
It appears we are in a place we should not be, but we do mean no harm. We are but mere explorers.
I see. Can I go?
We're not holding you.
All right.
Do you know where to go?
Yes, I'm.
Yeah.
I'll not. Without a lock my door, I sleep. I've been sleepwalking so much.
Well, that's all right.
And your name, my dear?
I'm called Bernice.
Bernice.
Bernice, before you go, I have a question for you. Have you encountered a man called Benedict, perchance?
No. Should I?
He may have appeared as a shadow or a mist.
No. She also starts looking at your lamp, and she kind of gets this like somewhat frightened look. No, I don't know about that. I'm gonna return upstairs now, if that's all right.
Oh, because they don't know what a lamp is?
An oil lamp of that kind. We'll make a history roll. Yeah, that's how we'll do it.
I'll make
Just
it.
trying to get more 13s in there.
Yeah, just any
Oh.
chance.
I'll make the roll.
Yeah, go for it. You were wondering. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh god, my history's awful.
Tell you. Well, yeah, make a history roll. Let's give it a shot.
44.
A 44.
Nope.
And that also is not enough for a heart of a thing. So yeah, I'll say that you're not sure what she'd be confused by.
There.
Well, Bernice, we would appreciate your discretion. when you return to bed, if you don't. Oh, she doesn't remember learning that she can do stuff. Damn it.
Hmm.
But I will say very earnestly, if you wouldn't mind not telling anyone that we were down here, we won't tell anyone that you were here either.
All right. Yeah, it's- she's kind of like moving to kind of like, skirt past you guys, and she says, of course, I'm sorry, and she runs off alone.
Victor, who are you looking for?
My brother Benedict.
I'm so sorry, I don't remember him. Was he there when we first met, or did he come after?
He was, in a way. My brother is not in the corporeal form. You see, he is a spirit. Indeed, he follows me. Harmless indeed, really a companion for me. And he came to me faint, like I've never seen him before, saying he had waited for hundreds of years for me. It seems as if he was an anachronism as well.
He was trapped in the past.
Out of place in time.
Can you call to him?
Didn't occur to me. Now we do seem to be in the past.
And your brother's ghost might be here.
He may be.
Victor tries to call for Benedict.
Perfect.
Benedict!
As you begin calling out, and your oil lamp kind of casts its sort of dull glow over all those books beyond. I'm going to go back upstairs. James, now that you've sort of taken some time to not think those thoughts your brother would disapprove of, you are alone once again, naturally. You are in the gallery.
Yes.
You notice kind of a wind blows pretty harshly. The windows rattle slightly. It had been raining, and it still is. It's kind of drizzling now. If you glance out the windows of the gallery, you see like a fog is rolling across the grounds. A slight purple tint to it. What would you like to do?
Well, a slight purple tint, doesn't bode well. I believe I shall move to the area at least where I could hear things before. Spend a little time there.
Ah.
See if I hear anything.
Okay. Ooh, very interesting. Okay. I'll roll for that for sure. You step to the Baroque art. To the echo chamber, sort of the acoustic sweet spot. You do in fact hear the voice of that man, the keeper, who you spoke to earlier today upstairs. You hear him saying, "No, damn it. Damn it, no. The mist, no, not while it is so close, not. I beseech you, Phantom. I beseech you, please, we're so close. Your will and mine, so
close. Please, please, keep it from this place. Let nothing interfere. Let nothing.
James, you suddenly hear echoing. Ding dong. Very modern sounding bell.
Do I hear that? Like it's coming from
It seems to
the
be coming from like the
current
foyer
area
from
I'm in, or
it seems to be coming from the front door.
is there anyone around me? No, I'm alone.
You're alone.
Well, he did tell me.
And suddenly, James, it is
Oh.
silent above you. Maybe not silent. You can hear the wind whistling. A little more aggressively. You also feel a chill you hadn't felt before. There's a
What does it
dampness in the air. As you stand here, you feel a little cold. Ding dong!
Well, he did tell me to stay put. I don't want to be lost. I remember being lost as a child, alone, like a spider dangling from a thread, cast off in this world, blowing in the breeze, trying to find some purchase, anything, something to hold on upon. But it's intriguing, that noise.
James,
Intriguing, like...
He wouldn't even, never mind, it's great. Keep going. Go for it. Amazing.
No, that's fine, that's fine.
As you sort of... Intriguing, like, what's amazing here, James, is that you are the only character this honestly makes sense for. Oh, also, you have a 25 in spot hidden. Yes, 1,000,000,000%, this is actually how this is going down. James, you just sort of repeat this because you're just in your mind, you're thinking these poetic beats. I do, however, want you to, just so I can do it, make me an intellect roll. So that's one of the orange boxes up at the top.
Man, I can never improve any of my skills. Okay, all right, here we go.
I'll give you some skills in a moment, don't you worry.
Oh no, oh no, be careful what you wish for. That doesn't sound good at all. Oh fuck.
What do we roll?
That's a failure. That's a failure. I can try to push it, right?
You can.
Is that the thing I can do?
Yes. So you just roll it again, but if you
Yeah,
fail,
I'm gonna push.
it's gonna be worse.
It's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna do it.
70% chance. You should be okay.
Oh, that's a hard success.
A hard success.
That I went from an 82 to an 8.
82 to an 8. Your mind sort of recalls that he was telling you to sort of be careful, but he was actually asking you to like look around and find your friends in the castle.
Ah, right, right.
You sort
okay.
of as you're, but like he did say be careful, and he left you here, so you know. The half of you that was listening at the time and not composing a sonnet kind of, it made sense. But now you're like, oh, right. But you've heard that dinging again. The voice above is silent. The wind is whistling louder. You feel a chill on you. Just for the hell of it, let's make a spot hidden. I know it's not a great one for you, but let's give it a shot.
No, that's a straight 50.
5-0. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So... A few moments pass. The doorbell rings again. Ding dong. And then you hear a distant voice, a woman's voice saying, "Hello? Is anybody home?" Footstep. 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 Footstep in the distance in the foyer. What are you doing, James? You're just kind of still there in the Baroque artwork? One thing that is odd is it seems like there's a little less Baroque artwork than you recall. It looks kind of... Maybe you hadn't really looked at it today. Last night it looked kind of like uninspiring, but like some of it looks like maybe somebody like broke some of it last night. It's weird.
Is there another way out of this room?
No, there is only that one entrance that leads to the main floor.
Oh, God. Now is not the time to be craven. Now is the time to show your mettle, James. It's like a crucible, burning away the lesser parts of myself, forming new, forged, harder, stronger, more acute, sharper. Yes. I stride forth.
You stride forth, James. Your foot sort of crunches a piece of rotten wood below it. And I will say that at this point, as you begin walking towards the source of the noise, you finally realize that the chamber you are in looks different than it did before you stepped behind the Baroque art. The tapestries and paintings are faded or missing. The windows in many places are smashed. And there are holes in the stonework, exposing the waters and storm without. Little tendrils of fog roll through in places. And again, you hear a woman's voice from the foyer saying, "Hello?" Oh, God. Oh, God, I hate this place. Is anybody here? I come in a spirit of... and sort of as you look around, you see there is a woman. She turns to you, and for a moment your heart probably sort of stops, not with love, but terror. For her face seems to be that of a goblin or gremlin, of hideous monster. But then, James, after a moment, you can tell that this is only... She's wearing like a masquerade mask. It's a mask. And in fact, beyond the mask, there appears to be a rather statuesque woman. Her hair is sort of long and curled. She's wearing a cloak of some kind. She has a pack on her shoulder. She is carrying a case which you as a certain sort of gentleman probably recognize as a guitar. She has a guitar in one hand, a pack on her side, and dangling from her hip are three things. The first is a sort of spongy turnip, carved with a child's sort of like a simple sort of child's face with dimples, in which burns a purple flame. Next to it is a gold box that says God Diva or Godiva, something like that. And next to that is this odd sort of sewn garment, sort of a reddish cylinder with a green fringe and a strange thick yellow pattern on it, with these sort of wrinkled sort of... It's a very odd image that she has sort of dangling from sort of her belt, kind of like half out of...
Strange trinkets.
But she says, "Hello."
Hello. How do you do?
Well, I was worried no one would be here. And James, as you sort of step into the foyer towards her, you see that much of the front half of this castle has collapsed. There's piles of stone rubble. She was walking through a sort of a doorway. She creaked it open. You also see there's... Honestly, for you, there's too much. He doesn't notice the electric wiring or anything. It's fine. But she's sort of standing there, just looking at you with a bit of confusion.
Well, I must confess, madame, I, like a rabbit dancing upon a maypole, am quite confused. Myself, I'm but a visitor here.
Oh.
Do you require assistance?
Well, yes, as a matter of fact, I suppose you're the only person around to give it, huh?
It seems to be. It seems that all my compatriots and everyone else has departed. It seems things are different here.
Oh.
Different.
Oh, I see.
Hmm. You do. Might you, like a light burning in the night, be able to elucidate what is going on?
I I might be able to. I'll require something in return. I'm on a mission of my own, you see. I'm not sure about how you can get back to your friends, but I will tell you. When you were here, there was a castle full of people. Is this correct?
Well, I mean, not full, but yes.
I see. Well, if you can help me, I'll throw in a bit of advice. But I'm guising. I want you to make a culture roll. Or an etiquette roll. Sorry, it's your very last one. We called it etiquette.
Yes. Yes, etiquette. That is a success.
Wonderful. What was the number?
31.
What if it had been the opposite, though? It still
Then
would have
it
been a
would have been
success.
different.
It could have been so cool if it did the opposite, and it still would have been a success. Nothing's cool for me. It's fine. My life's bad. Okay, whatever. My life is fine. Everyone calm down. The point is, James, you are actually familiar with the concept of guising. It is something that happens in certain parts. Not so much in your realm, but sort of like in the more northerly regions of the island of Grand Albion in which you find yourself. There are traditions where sort of for various festivals, children are sent around wearing scary masks to houses. They beg for treats. In exchange, they sing a song or tell a story, do a little trick, basically. And this is what this woman claims she's doing.
Oh, I see. I'm afraid I don't have many treats. I could give you the treat of a metaphor, I suppose.
I'm in the business of metaphors. I have those aplenty. No, I need something I can carry in my hand with me. I was hoping to get a book.
I don't have that, but and I go ahead and I reach out my hand to her.
I'm not going to take your hand. Don't worry about that. Shakes her head. This is gonna be bad. This is gonna be bad. You have anything to eat on you? No.
And I go ahead and I pull out my flask.
Oh.
That still probably has, a good 2 drags of whiskey in it.
Ah. Now that could be something I could take with me. In exchange, I'll play you a song or I'll tell you a tale. Whichever you'd like.
Might I see your face?
Knockout.
What is this? This is truly remarkable. You, ma'am, are a vision that stirs such fire such aching. But there are standards, there are rules, are there not?
No,
There
I
are.
can.
That is, we're all bound by rules, are we not? Otherwise, society collapses. Otherwise,
that
nothing
is-
can be done.
That is true. I am bound by the rules of Geisen. Oh, I think of a poem. I think of a poem for you. But that's not what I would play for you today, or tell you that tale. I can tell you a tale or sing you a song. She kind of like her guitar case, kind of drifting behind her. In exchange for your flask. That's the deal. That's the rules, right? You know what Geising are?
Mm-hmm.
You agree?
Do you have an extra mask?
No.
Pity.
I nearly traded this one, but I got some candy instead.
Hmm. Well, here you go. Your choice.
Oh. I always choose a song. She pulls out her guitar, classical guitar, and begins to play a flamenco sort of style. It's rousing, it's exciting, and here in the ruins of Castle Caliginoira, she begins to play and sings along in a voice that is sort of like kind of like husky and powerful and yet lilting and rich at the same time. Wonderful singer.
Of course.
And the words she sings are these. When I look out of my window, many sights to see. And when I look in my window, so many different people to be. That is strange, sure is strange. You've got to pick up every stitch. You've got to pick up every stitch. You've got to pick up every stitch. Oh no, must be the season of the witch. Yeah, must be the season of the witch. It goes on and on. She sings that portion a lot. There's another verse, but that's the basic gist of it.
How, I'd like to move closer to her and get a vibe check.
Okay. Roll a psychology roll.
Oh. Psychology. That is a hard success.
Hard success.
With a 15.
God, why couldn't it have been hard? It was a 13. I'm sorry. I gotta stop being so greedy. James Joffrey. There's a quality to this woman that you haven't found in all the people in this order. Not even in the lovely Mrs. Renee. Regrettably, Mrs. Renee.
Mm-hmm.
In which they believe in sanity. They believe in these little ghost stories. They believe in this nonsense. And something you find just they're clearly all deficient in some way. You know they believe what they're believing. This woman clearly believes in things and knows things, and she seems unfazed by the fact that she is in a ruined castle.
Right.
She seems to understand how it's possible. She seems unfazed that you are here, even though you know that when you walked into that room, this castle wasn't ruined. Your brain hasn't even tried to process what's going on yet.
Right.
This woman, unlike all those other people you've met, she is of this kind of nonsense. You do not have to believe that magic is real, that this poppycock is true. But you know that this woman isn't someone who's searching for a sign. She seems to be well aware of some metaphysical secrets.
Right. I think almost on its own, I say, take me with you.
She thinks for a moment. If I can roll low here, I get to say the coolest thing I could possibly say. I have to roll really low. No. Instead, she just kind of looks you over for a moment. No. You shouldn't go where I'm going. You shouldn't be here either. But that was a 15. That was pretty good, she will say. Go stand at the foot of those stairs, Amor. Right there.
Does that mean I won't see you?
Go. Andale, go.
James walks slowly, but solidly to there, and then turns around.
Sort of just as you're getting over there, she says to you, you kind of hear her call, "Oh, and sorry about your shirt." And James, as you sort of like turn back to her, suddenly hot tea is spilled on your shirt. And as you look down, go ahead and make a spot hidden roll, but I'm going to say this is easy, so a 50, or easy means it's double, so a 50 or lower you'll get something out of this.
64.
Then James doesn't notice, as you like spin back around to hear her, you don't notice that the stain already on your shirt, the tea stain already on your shirt, as you're hit with hot tea, sort of like fills itself in. And suddenly you see that another member of the Order of the Opal Octopus, who was standing there with tea, kind of says, "Lady or man, just, where the devil did you come from? Don't sneak up on people like that." You look back. The castle is in perfect condition, just as you left it. The door is closed. The woman is gone.
And a single tear rolls down James' cheek as his like hair is like sort of disheveled, and he looks down. I came from paradise.
No, that's my next stop. She doesn't say that, but she thinks it. Maybe she says it, but you can't hear it. The point being, James, you're back on the floor amongst people who are looking at you like a guy's like, "I'm not being."
I go to the bar.
Seriously, where the hell did he come from? Everyone's like, "I don't know." Downstairs. single tear. Sorry, buddy.
It's rough, buddy.
And yet,
Sorry.
on the flip side, everybody.
He's gonna be tortured. I mean, it doesn't continue unless he's tortured, right?
Also, he did just meet her, so I think he'll be okay. Downstairs, Victor has called out for Benedict. Victor, roll good old luck for me.
I forgot that's what we were doing. I'm so caught up.
Yeah. All sorts of things going on right now.
That is a success. It's a 19.
19. After a few moments, do this for both of you. Nope. As you kind of, Sarah and Captain, are just sort of watching Victor sort of calling out in the oil lamp. Victor, you hear a voice from far away saying, "Oh, Victor? Victor? Oh, are you here?"
Benedict.
Oh, and sure enough, kind of like you turn back and you see Sarah, and then like right behind Sarah, you see Benedict appear. "Oh, Victor, I was wondering where you'd gone."
How long have you been away?
Oh, Victor, I'm not Benedict. He's behind her, right?
My dear, Benedict is directly behind you.
Oh! And she'll, like, spin around.
Oh, since last night, I suddenly found myself in a castle, different than the one, with no sign of you. It seemed years in the past.
Interestingly, strange indeed. You came here in a dream I had where terrible things occurred. A king, I was the king, and I was killed in the home room here.
Oh, well, there is a king here in this castle. A king, Adelard.
It appears he may not be safe.
Oh, well, but Victor, if you are here... Yes.
I have to tell you, I was in a different time, and you had been waiting for hundreds of years to warn me about something. Has there been any danger thus far in your experience here?
Well, no, I've not seen Grandfather, if that's what you mean. But I'm starting to believe we may be before even his time. But things here seem dangerous, deadly. There is murder on the air. I've heard dark whispers.
Murder?
Yes. The threat of it looming large.
Do you have any brotherly advice you can offer me and my comrades here?
Yes, you must discover what's going on. Figure out how these things could be happening. Figure out why we are trapped where we are. Perhaps we can find a way to return to when we should be. I must admit, it is a bit intriguing.
Indeed, it is. Perhaps you can keep an eye out for me and report back if you see anything that would be worth sharing.
Of course. Of course.
He sort of goes back.
It's good to see you again, brother.
And you.
Can we see him?
I rolled to see if he appeared to you, but no, he did not. Sorry. So you and Captain Kidd just heard Victor doing like a weird, like, Victor talking to the wall. Yeah.
But what did he say?
Well, he shared that it is a dangerous place. There's a king, whatever his name was. It's a king. Adelard. Here. In order to find our way back to our time, we must figure out really what is occurring here. But again, it is dangerous. There is murder in the air, he says. I'm not sure what that means, but based on my dream, the king was killed directly in that room. This room, where we are, here.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of, and to sort of describe the idea is that a passage wall that, when you had your dream, had an alcove within it that was full of books. That alcove had been walled over as if it was a flat wall, but now you guys have busted it down, but now you're in the past before it had been walled over. So you're just in this little alcove full of books, tomes, scrolls, all manner of ancient thing.
Well, perhaps we should not stay here long, should the assassination happen soon.
We must stay vigilant, but now that we are here, we must look for the guide.
We need answers to get back to our time.
Indeed, Captain.
The guide.
But also, there's a mystery afoot. We have to find the king's would-be killer. Maybe he has the answers we seek.
I would like to just start reading the titles of the books.
Okay. Sarah and Captain Kidd, as you sort of look over, would you both make a spot hidden roll for me? Also, I am sorry for once again having this game in a segmented nonsense situation, but it's how it's going, and...
Wibbly wobbly, timey wimey.
Just cross-cutting, that's how it goes.
Can Victor be looking at the books too? I mean...
Sure. Okay. You can give me a spot hidden as well.
Spot hidden.
All right, I got 54, so it's regular success.
Regular success. Captain Kidd, you see numerous books with interesting sort of titles, but a lot of the books, as far as you can tell, seem to have titles in languages you don't speak. Other tongues. It's you know, if you see a book that has an interesting title, like would you take one down and start looking at it, or are you just looking at this point, Captain Kidd?
I would say I want to peruse the books that seem interesting, but I want to try to see if I can find one that's in a language I can at least recognize.
Understood. So you sort of look around, and for the most part, you're sort of seeing sort of strange tomes, but you see some older ones. So, you know, you can maybe take a book down in a moment. For now, you're kind of still looking through it. Victor, what did you roll?
I rolled a 68. I pushed it, so I got a 68. I got a success in the
success with a pushing it. So Victor, and that's a normal success. I would assume a 68. So yeah, you kind of go through, and very similar to Captain Kidd, you are for the most part finding sort of older books that are certainly seem occult in nature. You're not seeing that distinctive TV guide, and the books that you are finding seem they seem old and creepy, and kind of like occasionally they'll have a sort of somewhat kind of lurid title of like Blood Rights or something, but so far no spider senses are tingling for you or Captain Kidd. Sarah, what about you?
23, which is a hard
success. Cool. Do me a favor real quick, roll a d13.
Nice.
Oh no.
She's gonna get us killed again.
I'm the worst person to be rolling this.
She's gonna get us killed.
Oh, 12.
12?
Yeah. Oh no.
Shoot.
Oh, yes.
Make a luck roll. If you succeed at this, time has broken in a major way for you. Shoot. That's really cool. She's rolled Merkshire is why. What'd you roll?
13 minus 1.
A luck roll?
A luck roll.
It's a success with a 53.
53. Okay. Miss Sarah Quill. You... Mrs. Sarah Renee. I'm genuinely sorry. Sarah, you find... And in fact... Oh god, because time is breaking so this can happen. Sarah.
Yes.
You reach out and put your hand on a tome that almost doesn't seem to be there. It's like you're like, wait, is this a trick of the light? You put your finger on it. And it's hard. It's firm. You can feel the book.
Okay.
Suddenly it feels a little older and more crinkly in your hands. And Sarah, Victor, and the captain, you all inhale a sort of just this incredibly musty, dusty air, and you find yourselves in a walled-in chamber that the bottom of which has been like knocked out. So like suddenly like you're in this thing, but you were basically walled in when you were, so it's as if you crawled through. Sarah, you have your finger on this book. The tome is simply titled The Keeper.
The Keeper is what it's called. You said.
The Keeper.
I wonder what this means, and I will
As
take
you
it down.
hold it in your hand, Sarah Quill, you can tell that you are touching something of great power.
Okay.
This is whatever books they're looking at, and suddenly you guys, the books you're looking at, are now like moldering and like rotted. Sarah, the book you have your hand on is older than it was when you sort of almost first saw it, but now it seems it's not as old as the other books. It seems much sturdier, kind of. It's still perfectly legible.
Did they see me take it down?
I believe so. Although you're probably all kind of like confused that you're back in a, in a whatever room.
Is there anything on the cover, on the back, or anything
Oh, on the cover it says The Keeper, and then it has that like horse emblem embossed.
Oh, okay.
And it is black leather.
Very important that there is a horse.
I would say that is.
And just to be clear, I do remember everything prior to Caliginoira. Okay. I think this is significant, but I don't think we should open it here.
Agreed. We appear to be trapped in this space as we found it. Perhaps we should exit hastily.
Yes, I think we might do that.
I agree. I was just trying to remember the setting we're in now. Are we trapped in? Are we currently trapped in?
You are not trapped. It's gonna be like a tight squeeze because no one actually pushed their way through the little hole you carved. Also, inconveniently, there's no implement in here you could knock your way out with. So it's like the thing you dug your way in with was left out of the room, and you guys walked in, and now you're stuck.
Is there light coming from the bottom, or is it dark?
It's dark out there because this part of the hallway is not lit. You have an oil lamp in here with you, though.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you don't mind, I can go first. I can see rather well in the dark, and you can pass the lantern to me.
I believe that sounds like a good plan.
All right. So I'll go and crawl through.
Sarah, your dress might not be amazing, but you can kind of, you can sort of push your way out without real issue. In fact, do any of you have a size of like 75 or higher? Any of the three of you?
Size?
Size. Your size is an orange box at the top.
Oh.
No. SIZ.
First column of orange box is the bottom one.
No, I don't.
Nope.
You don't. Let's see. Yeah, Sarah's a 65. You're at. Actually, Captain Kidd is a 75 size. If you see there. He's a.
Okay.
Yeah, so he would in fact. It's going to be a tight squeeze for you to get through. But not like just no rolls are really required for this if you're sort of handing that. Captain Kidd, you can if unless you're going in a hurry, you can get through. It's okay. Are you only taking that book Sarah found?
I took it with me.
but you're not taking any. You're not kind of the books now look sort of older and more battered or whatever. So you're not taking any other tomes.
I'd like to take another glance at it, like what we have now, around the room, inspecting what things look like. Anything interesting?
Give me another spot hidden. That's fine. You've already pushed once, right?
Yes.
Nice. Go. Give me again. Hit me 2 times.
It is a. Can I push it again?
Please push it. Please push it.
That's a 14. That's a super ultra
That
success.
Sucks so much that it's a 14. Why couldn't it have been a 13? It's fine.
It's an extreme.
Yeah, with an extreme success. You glance around as well. Kind of just wondering if any book could be useful here. Roll your d13.
Take it out of the cage.
Take it out of the cage.
11.
11. That's interesting. Which one should I use for this? Sorry, everybody, by the way. That's what it is. That's so what it is. All right. I have to look up when something was invented. Victor, you're looking through, and there does appear to be one other book of note in here. But it is not a book at all. At first you thought it was like a piece of like binding material, but there is in fact this sort of like square disc, or this like square sort of like flat. You thought it was like a divider or something for the books, kind of set amongst them, but you realize that that is actually a case of some kind, a hard, some kind of like heavy sort of stock that has been like reinforced with maybe lambskin or something. Very sort of dark in color. You pull this thing off. You at first you were like, this is just a divider. You almost like used it to like move books back and forth, but you're like, wait, this is a thing. You're holding this. You see that it is tied. You begin to unwrap it. If you pull it open, you seem to be looking at, I think it's approximately 12.375 inches square. There is a beautiful sort of like, but so sort of like overly sensual and sensationalized painting on this cover of this this just rage-looking statue sort of standing in this kind of hellish wasteland, with purple skies behind him, in Gothic lettering across the top, in white. It reads, "Blood from a stone." This Gothic sort of like, this Gothic font underneath, there is this painting of this statue. He has these strange glasses kind of carved on his face. He has this like look of like howling agony. He's holding the body of a woman in his arms. You see behind him there seems to be a motorcycle with this bat-like monster riding on it, kind of looking at you with this howling face. And on the other side of him, wearing a loincloth, in this sumptuous painting, with a tattoo on his arm that reads, "Bad for good, and white angel rings outspread as he's kind of staring up at this massive statue on the other side, is a blonde man who you recognize as the husband of Sarah Quill.
Wow. Wow. Victor will say nothing and just keep this
Wrap
private.
it back up? Yeah, sure.
Yeah. And proceed to exit the room.
Oh boy.
The angel in a loincloth. If I didn't say he was in a brown leather loincloth, he's in a brown leather loincloth.
I thought it was going to be Bruce Pumper for a second.
Hmm.
As an
Yeah.
angel. He
He's
came
there in
back.
spirit. He's there in spirit for sure.
Always.
So, you pull that out. Wrap it up. The three of you have now gotten back into the sort of corridor below. You have two works, two tomes with you. Important tomes. What are you doing? Going back upstairs?
Yes.
Did the captain make it out too?
The captain did. If the captain's kind of okay to take a bit... Oh, gosh. I guess drama. Captain, roll for me if the captain does.
Another opportunity for a 13.
Yeah, or worse. Captain...
I
Oh,
know.
no, Captain, you're not... Okay. Captain, roll a dexterity.
I told you, don't get attached
Don't
to
get
your
attached to your characters, though, but roll a dexterity. Also, do me a favor and roll a 70 or a 13.
Don't.
Roll what?
Roll a 70 or a 13. 70 or
No.
13 would be great.
Don't do that.
I got 61.
61. All right, the captain sort of like, it takes some doing, but he does manage to get out.
Trying to kill me, dude.
She's
said
trying to
it.
kill all of us. You
I-
haven't picked up on that?
I am trying to kill you all. So,
Trying to kill me.
as the captain manages to get out, gets out last, but you are now all out of that chamber.
That was a tight squeeze.
And back in their own time.
Well, if only you had loosened more rocks.
Hmm.
Shame.
I'm sensing some
Shall we proceed on?
hostility here.
Shall we?
Perhaps we should head back to the foyer.
And hopefully back to our time.
It appears as if we're back to the right place.
You suspect you're in the right time for now, yes. So, if you go upstairs...
How's my sanity?
So far, okay. I mean, I guess, realistically speaking,
I'm surprised their sanity didn't go down.
all four of you have experienced a temporal displacement. Tell you what we'll do. Everybody roll a sanity check.
God damn it.
Lauren, why do you always ask these questions?
Yeah, don't ask the
Because
question
I
if you
want
don't
to know if
Yeah,
I'm back
totally.
to normal. I passed it! With the 24!
Amazing.
I passed.
Great.
46.
Whew.
You're muted, Andrew.
Uh-oh.
No, I'm not.
95.
95? Oh no, what is your
Heartbroken.
sanity?
50.
If your sanity was 49, that would be a fumble. No, 96. Never mind. You're okay. Okay. What about you, good captain? What do we roll?
Oh.
I got 13.
Okay. So,
Thanks, Lauren.
the good news for you,
Thanks, Lauren.
Mon
Way to
Capitan,
go, Lauren.
it.
The good news is your sanity is a 62, so you pass the sanity check. The less good news is that we do this, and because sadly you do not have a D13, I'm gonna roll it.
I think I do.
A D13 is a very specialized die you probably do not have. I bought
You would
those
have to
custom for
custom order
everyone.
it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But let me just.
Last Christmas, right?
Last Christmas, I gave you D13, and the very next day, you rolled a 13. All right, here we go. Got a horror surge right now would suck, right, guys? You know, I'm gonna do this one.
I still blame Sarah.
I'm gonna do this like a.
I still blame you.
Guys.
No.
It's just a 1. Don't worry.
Oh, okay.
But I was excited because from my perspective, like 13 is right next to the 1. So like, oh, a 13. Nah, it's not the top. It's fine. Anyway, so you all, I would love to get another Dreadstorm in by the end of this week. It would be really great to just keep filling this thing up. So horror does not surge. James, all of you sort of, I think we'll say that Sarah and Captain Kidd and Victor, all understood the possibility of going back in time. That was like proposed to you, even though your brain broke with that, it kind of went to this thing. James, you lose 3 points of sanity.
Do I now remember things? That was the question I wanted answered, actually.
Yes, I do recall. She's so salty about that still.
Is it coming back like a dream?
Yes, it is coming back
Okay.
like a dream. You remember.
I'll let you have.
You remember
your
phases
little
of it, but it's not fully all there. Well, okay, and actually, here's the thing.
Oh no.
Actually,
what?
wait. Would you like it to all come back?
No, I'm not going to advance the dread clock, Philip.
No, not that. Do you want it to all come back?
Do it.
It's actually reasonable. Would you like it to come back?
Yes.
Great. Sarah Quill, as you sort of finally, Sarah Quill,
What did I do?
Sarah Quill, having faced going back in time, kind of like you can now remember Dr. Faust. You remember everything, including speaking to the woman you saw hanging.
The bride of Anna Pyatt!
Please make a sanity roll.
I'm gonna drive over there and kick your ass.
And this one's worse than the other one. If you don't. You can do it. Also, wait, what'd you roll?
I failed it.
Well, you want to push it? Push it. How bad you fail? What'd you roll? What'd you roll to fail?
44.
Oh, that's pretty bad. You want to push it? You don't have to.
Stay crazy.
Unclick your temporary insanity. You're not temporarily insane right now.
I don't even know where it is. Oh, there.
Yeah. You don't
I'm
have to push
scared
it.
for her.
You should be. Her sanity's very low.
I'm gonna leave it. I'll leave it.
Cool. Hope I don't roll high. Ooh, I rolled a 9. Sarah, deduct 9 sanity points. And in addition, that's over a 5th of your sanity at once, so please roll a d10.
Hold on.
By the way, roll a 9 or a 10 if you can. It would be so cool.
A D10?
Yeah.
A 5.
Are you sure you didn't roll a 4?
I'm positive.
Because a 4 is violence, and you really could just kill these two right now.
I would hold it against her in real life.
This does not have a great option for Sarah Quill. Yes, it does. What am I saying? Sarah Quill, what you've rolled this 5 is ideology beliefs. So what is Sarah Quill's ideology? I'm going to say at this time it is love. It is her marriage.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Sarah, you are suddenly overwhelmed with a need to find your fucking husband. Where is he? What is he doing? Why isn't he here? You need to tell him what you've just seen. You are freaking out. So Sarah, you are like maniacally set on you must find him now. You have to find him right now. Nothing else matters. Find him right now.
Okay, I will. Can I smell him with my heightened senses?
You're allowed,
even if it makes me look insane,
you are absolutely allowed to. Oh fuck yes, this is what it'll be, Sarah.
Yes.
You can use your spot. I let you use your spot hidden for your. It's kind of like your overall. It's really like your vampire senses. Roll a spot hidden check, trying to get a scent of him.
Okay. That is a 33.
33 is a hard success.
Hard
Sarah,
success, yeah.
He is not down here. You know that you don't smell him at all. He has not been down here. You must go upstairs.
I will go. I have no choice. I will go upstairs.
Sarah rushes upstairs. Captain Kidd and Victor Moncrief, what are you doing?
How crazily is she leaving?
Well,
I will have said, I must find my husband. I must find him right away.
She says that, but Captain and Victor, she leaps sort of off in the direction, a pretty wide distance. I need the Captain and Victor to both roll a spot hidden for me, here in this sort of dim light.
We got you.
I got a 4. That's an extreme success.
Okay.
I got a 27, which is a hard success.
Hard success. Both of you notice. Captain Kidd, you think the sharpness of her teeth is a trick of the light, but Victor, you can tell that her pupils have gone all sort of black with red around the edges, and two long incisors have kind of extended down, these fangs in her mouth, as she's saying, "I must find my husband." And she leaps, she leaps maybe 10, 15 feet down the hall, almost kind of like not on all fours, but like every once in a while, she's like using her arms to like continue, and she's already around the corner and gone as you're both standing there holding the lantern.
Captain, did you
see that?
I did. It appears as if she's not what she seems.
No normal woman can leap that far. What do you think she is?
Victor, no. Is that an?
You know what? Honestly, what is your occult score, Victor? 80. You know.
Okay.
Rhymes with schmampire.
It rhymes with schmampire. It appears as if she is a vampire.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I have a question about like the lore of the world.
Yeah, absolutely.
What is the are vampires common in this
No,
world?
vampires are not they're a mythological creature. You obviously
Okay.
exist in a world where like some magic is real and you've seen examples of it, but you have certainly never met a vampire yourself.
Okay. I was just wondering if like my character would have some...
it's they're certainly more rare than that.
Okay.
She has sort of disappeared around the corner. Are you two just gonna sort of stand there in shock for a moment, or are you following? What are you two doing?
It seems we have multiple mysteries afoot. We have a vampire among us, and we need to figure out the king's killer.
Well said. I feel as if it might be appropriate to reconvene up in the foyer.
What should we do about Sarah? Now we know she's potentially a vampire.
She hasn't shown us any harm, so it's more interesting to me than dangerous.
You're a curious man, Victor, but I must say I've never met a vampire. Is that why she's so strong? Is she stronger than me? Wait a minute.
Vampires are known to be very strong.
Let's go find her, actually. Let's go find her.
As you two rush after her. James.
I was saying I didn't know if I was rushing after her
Understood.
more.
You're following tentatively. trying to make the sign of the cross with your fingers. Yeah, sure.
We're briskly walking.
Yeah, you're following with intent, but you're not rushing. You're not running neck forward. James, you are upstairs. You hear footsteps coming up, sort of from some of the steps that lead down, sort of below. You also hear kind of an alarm, and suddenly, Mrs. Renee sort of like leaps into the room as like a few servants kind of in the foyer. This is like moments after you've had tea spilled upon you, and you're sort of you had your. Oh wait, did you go somewhere? I'm so sorry.
No. Oh no, I went to the bar. You
went off to the bar. So from the bar, you hear sort of like shouting and confusion. And if you sort of kind of half look to investigate or sort of see what's going on, you see that Mrs. Renee is like moving like swiftly and people are like recoiling from her and she's just demanding to see her husband. As members of the Order of the Oath Octopus are like are sort of backing away from her and no one seems to know where he is.
Is there something I could roll to see how I feel about this?
I will say, given that since you're in the bar, you're like not exactly where she was. At this point, you're just hearing some shouting. So if you want to make a sort of general sort of psychology roll, that could be like a vibe check for like what's the energy everyone's going on. But you could definitely tell.
No, it's more like I'm trying to like get the like how shook I am. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like,
well, because you failed a sanity roll, I will say that you are feeling you're feeling amiss.
I think I'm just not. I hear the commotion and I just order another shot.
Understood. Perfect. And you gave your flask away, so you've got to drink it all here.
Yeah. It's hard to talk in those, isn't it?
So, Sarah, as you're sort of shouting,
Probably.
You're sort of shouting after your husband. Where is he? You're trying to smell him now that you're up here. Please make for me another look roll or a vampire sense roll, a spot hidden as we call it. You know what I'm saying? It's a 90.
65.
It's a regular.
Very hard to talk with.
A regular. You smell him having been here. You can feel that everything is old. These don't seem to be super fresh. In fact, you remember the last time that you saw him. If you wanted to try to get the hint of it was up in that turret.
I will go to the turret.
Perfect. Everyone else, no one else is chasing her directly, so I don't think anyone's catching up with her. James being like, nah, I'm good. I've already fallen in love once today. I'm not going to fall back in love with that married woman I fell in love with yesterday. Victor and Captain Kidd being like, cool, we were just in the past, plus I found a bitchin' record, plus Sarah's a vampire. A lot's going on. At this time, I'm going to pull out my Etienne dice.
Oh no.
Sarah.
Yes.
You go up the stairs. No, you don't. Sarah. As you get to the turret, you begin climbing up the walls.
I still have the book, by the way.
Sure. Yeah, you've got that tucked into one of those famous pockets that Victorian dresses had. So you're just climbing straight up the wall. Although you would drop the book if it got in the way of you finding your husband at this point. But
certainly, of course.
We'll say that you have the book. That's fine. As you do so, make a luck roll to see just how observed you are.
44. My luck is 63.
No one spots her.
Thank goodness. They've seen enough.
All right, Sarah, you get to the landing. and you sort of can smell your husband and yourself and all of them. You smell your husband, yourself, the Captain Victor Haven from a few hours ago.
Okay.
Make an
And someone
intellect roll.
else.
Make an intellect roll.
$42.
Okay. It's a success.
Success.
But there's this beginning sort of like wiggling little doubt in your mind. Because there's only one door here and you don't smell Etienne. You don't really smell him more recently than you smell yourself. You go to the door to just see. And you sort of breathe in and you can smell him most strongly in this room back when you were here with Victor, the captain, with Haven, with Mr. Brannigan, who is not here. You don't see Mr. Brannigan. All you see is the girl sleeping alone. And of course you can smell the decaying, the long decayed corpse of Dr. Faust Simpleton under the floorboards. But the girl is laying there asleep in bed. I want you to make a dread mythos roll.
I don't think mine is very good. Nope.
Give it a shot, just in case.
Nope. 32.
Okay, now you can make an occult roll.
33.
33 is a success for you.
Yes.
So basically, Sarah, you don't understand the full implications of the dread magic that you're facing. But as you get here and you breathe in, the last scent of your husband was as he was passing out of this room. Which means he's not now. His scent is long gone. He's not in this time.
Is there... Have I stepped into the room?
I think you probably would have in your sort of like mad dash to find him. However, we'll say... Go ahead. Sorry, finish your thought.
Well, I want to step out and close the door and open it again.
Understood. You step out, close the door, open it again. The girl still sleeps. Still here in this room. Nothing changed. Sarah, I'm actually going to say that at this point, I was way too enjoying your amnesia, so I let that go on longer than it should have. But this time, we're gonna do this one sort of. It's only about 6 minutes that you felt this overwhelming need. That disappears as you open the door.
Okay.
Girl is still there.
And so the insanity has faded.
The insanity's faded. Not necessarily your hunger for the sleeping, defenseless woman in the bed. Especially as she begins to say words that you've heard before from Etienne. The sea is whipping the sky. The sky is whipping the sea. You can hide away forever from the storm, but you'll never hide away from me.
I would like to... Can I approach her?
Sure.
And put my hand over her mouth?
Okay.
And I think I can recall that I could do...
Your charm?
Yeah. I would like to charm her.
Okay.
You're the one who said I was hungry.
You are. Yeah, you are. That's fine. But you're gonna charm her. This is some different stuff. Sorry, everyone. Always gotta split these people up. So Sarah. Yes. You put your hand over her mouth. She's kind of like softly moving her mouth in her sleep as you do so. Go ahead.
I will say... Can't talk with these.
That's fine.
I will say... Stay asleep. And you will have the sweetest dreams you have ever had. And she will bite her. And I would like to not kill her.
Okay. Go ahead.
And I am keeping my hand over her mouth so she can't move her head either, so...
Understood.
Also to keep her from seeing who I am.
Understood. So, Sarah.
Yes.
Go ahead and roll your charm roll. You have a 102. Go ahead and roll this. Interesting dynamic here, my friend.
That is a 16.
16.
Which is an extreme. Oh no, what did I do?
The reason this was bad is that there was no way you weren't going to succeed, but an extreme is rough. Okay. So, you begin to, you whisper this charm. Her teeth into the girl's throat.
She's a Kelpie or something.
And begins to drink of her. The blood is just dark and rich, young, fresh, invigorating. But her lips are still moving under your mouth, or under your hand, as you drink. And she is stirring as she speaks. She does not seem to be asleep. She's still speaking. Your hand is covering her mouth. She's awake. She's tossing and turning, kind of resisting a little bit more as she awakens.
Okay, I'll pull back and still holding her mouth.
Mm-hmm. As you look down at her, Sarah, you see her eyes are open, full of purple mist, swirling like cosmos within.
Does it affect me? Looking at her?
Does not force a sanity roll, no. She's looking up at you, the blood kind of dripping in two little rivulets down her throat. For the two jagged puncture marks of your fangs. Your hand over her mouth. Still, her lips still moving like she wants to tell you something.
I'll lift my hand.
And I know that I'm gonna be like this forever. I'm never gonna be what I should. And you think that I'll be bad for just a little while, but you know that I'll be bad for good. Sarah, those three words you know very well. Your husband has them tattooed on his forearm. I'm not going to have you roll another sanity roll.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
But as she sort of says this to you, and you experience a chill, sort of realizing the madness that was upon you, and the fact that your charming didn't work on this girl despite you, like, doing it more perfectly. Or, I'll rephrase that. Tell you what, make one last occult roll for me.
50.
50. You don't understand what's happening.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Why did you say that?
Her eyes close.
No. You have to tell me. Why did you say that?
She falls into the sweetest dream she's ever had. And that's where we'll end tonight's session.
Murderer.
Murderer.
This made her go to sleep, possibly forever. I just realized. No. I didn't.
We're coming for you.
I didn't mean it.
I really wish. That's one where I really do wish you there. If you don't know what's going, this character might not know what's going on, so it's totally reasonable. It should be a roll, but I really wish you'd rolled that success in that occult just to realize why your charming didn't work, because it's a fun reason. The fact that it was extreme just made it even worse. Well, that was a wonderful night here in Berkshire, full of creepy, weird moments. People holding their breath as they fear that people are about to die. James met yet another woman. She saw a tea stain on your shirt and said, maybe up there. But at least you're alone again. On these dark moments, I want to thank everyone for playing tonight. I know it's always kind of weird when we've got millions of characters off doing their own thing, but that seems to be the vibe of Merkshire.
That's Merkshire.
Gothic horror is often people alone, is really what it comes down to. It's creepiest when you're all alone. Also, thank everybody out there in chat for watching us, and everyone watching who's not in chat. You're cool too. If you like what we do, please follow our channel or subscribe if you're able. Go to our About page here on Twitch so you can see the cool stuff our players get up to. Go to our Discord where we post recaps and talk and apparently post pictures of dogs. I was seeing my phone lighting up about those things. You do all that stuff. This was night 4 of 7 Week of Blood games. So tomorrow at 1 p.m. afternoon game, we are going back to Paradise, which was actually very relevant tonight because we had many references to Paradise, both intentional and not. On Sunday,
true.
For Chapter 72, join us at 7:30 p.m. in our usual A More Wretched Hive time slot for a trip to the Fractured Factory, which I always have trouble saying on account of tongue twisters. Then, on Monday, it all ends, 7:30 p.m. in our usual civilized age time slot with a final trip to the surfing domain. That one's going to be trippy. I'm very excited. So please join us for all those games. After that, we don't have a game on Tuesday. We typically do, but this week I'm taking it off since I just did 7 of these in a row. Then a week from tonight, there actually is not another one of these games. We're not in Merkshire again. It's gonna be 2 weeks before we get to come back to Merkshire to see the fallout of all this craziness. Instead, it is one of our monthly first week of the month Star Trek games. So come live long and prosper with us for that. We'll see you in 2 weeks for more of Berkshire, but tomorrow for more Blood from a Stone, where you just might watch La Trovadora read the lyrics to another fun Halloween party song. So far, she's given us Monster Mash.
Yep.
What was night 2? Shoot.
I wasn't there.
It was, I Put a Spell on You. And then night 3 last night was Dead Man's Party, which was awesome. And that one she played to a totally naked lady standing on a boat. Because Voluptua...
She's super petite, though. Very tiny
she's so
lady.
Small. She can only wear doll clothes.
Small. It's true.
So in any case, so that's
she
all
would
the
shop at the American Girl store, but those are too dowdy.
So dowdy, guys, so dowdy. Well, that was wonderful. Thank you all for playing. Anybody have anything they want to mention or plug?
Yeah, sure. On Tuesdays, I stream from 5 to 7. We're streaming Control right now, which is a spooky, creepy, paranormal, reality bending game with recaps, so you won't feel left out. That's 5 to 7 Pacific on Tuesdays at Andrew is Trying here on Twitch.
That is fun, guys. I just sneezed so hard.
What?
I just
What?
sneezed so hard.
Oh, he sneezed.
I muted myself both
I
on
thought
Zoom
I-
and on Twitch, and then I proceeded to sneeze. I think my brain hit the front of my skull.
Well, on that note,
I did just want to thank everybody for being here, and just like it's super fun watching the chat and interacting with everybody as we're playing the game. Because again, it's as fun to play as it is to be a spectator and a chatter. So cheers, y'all, for making my Friday fun.
Super do
Yeah.
appreciate that, guys. Being engaged is really kind of you. So I hope I have a game tomorrow. I hope that I haven't lost an important part of my blurn. But we will, until then, thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. This has been so much fun. 4 down, 3 to go. You are all Zormling. Thanks a lot. Until next time, have a dreadful night.